Hello everybody! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today we are back with a little bit more Strandedaliendawn. It seems that you liked it. So I will do part 2, and this video won't be that long, because on every start you have to do same thing. You have to research, you have to observe, you have to put shelter down and camp down and harvesting and so on and so on. So I will go through stuff that we didn't talk about it. In the first guide we did crash landing last time, and we have 2 more scenarios. That is trading outpost, and this one is like you are going on this planet to buy a planet. That is the main goal. You go with 3 survivors and you want to trade the goods that you are producing to trading ships, and with that you will earn monies, galactic coins. So you should harvest, produce, craft, sell, and then buy a planet. You cannot find any survivors on expeditions. Everything else you can take it if you wanted to, but there is always a but. You can hire people. So I have the whole playthrough on this scenario. I will pin it up in the right corner so you can go and look at it. But you can hire people. You have to pay them, of course, and you will have to consider how many people you want to hire, because you need that money to buy a planet. And for the trading post, it's most important that you have somebody who can farm, who can craft, and maybe cook, and that is because they have to survive, you know? For this scenario, we did get one specific person, and that is Vincent. And if you look at down here, it says he is haggler. That means that while in the colony, all trade ships sell goods at 5% discount and buy them at 5% higher price, can negotiate decreased payment of workers. That means he is like a must for this scenario. It's plus, win-win, all over. So for me personally, for this scenario, I will take Vincent, then take somebody who is really good at crafting and interested in it. So that will be like Can, maybe. Or another one is Kana, but she is vegetarian. That can be like a little bit irritating. She's already crafting 6 and she's interested in construction. That means that she will level up fast, learn fast. She will be happy if she do it. She can be your crafter and she can construct some stuff when needed. I have to say it, she's indifferent for combat, so she will get negatively impacted when attacked. So that is one downside. The next one, which is like maybe one of my favorites, it's Vivian. She's incredible cook and crafting. And she has one downside, it's healing. She is incapable of healing. So for me personally, I would take Ken. He's all over the place guy, you know? You can take him in every scenario. He's like in combat and he's interested in crafting. So that will be my next choice. And then we have to take somebody who can like cook or help with construction or help with other stuff. And I find that Emmeline, it's okay. She don't have any construction skills. She's really good cook and she's not indifferent in combat. That is pretty important. He's not indifferent in combat and he's interested in combat. He can help with construction. Don't forget about that. He is here for farming and for selling and buying. He can help with gathering materials. He is pretty good with crafting and combat. And he can like scavenge stuff because he will get twice more scrap metal during scavenge operations. And if we take Emmeline, she will cook, she can construct, she can do an intellect. Intellect is pretty important too, don't forget that. And what is pretty important with this one, you are starting with 3 people. When you hire somebody, you do not know whom will you get. You can take it or you can leave it. It's up to you. But you can always like hire somebody, and this somebody can take away tasks from other people so they are not overloaded with work. This person can help. You can hire 2 persons, 3 persons. Doesn't matter. I will say for this scenario, it's important crafting, farming, and I will say cooking and intellect. Intellect is because you need to progress. You still have to research and observe. And for intellect, if you think that intellect it's more important, I will recommend Krista. She cannot craft, but you have Ken for crafting, so it's not that big of a deal. So she is intellect 7 already, and she has occasionally insights that boost the current research progress. And she can cook. You know, she's already level 2, so yeah, why not? And then you can take Rita. Rita has some intellect and she's interested in cooking. Plus, when she go observing something on expeditions, she can observe some stuff randomly. And now let's go on military outpost. That's the third scenario, the last scenario that we got when game did go full release. And this one is like you get 6 survivors. Every one of them will get weapon. They will get clothes, boots, helms. Every single one will get something. The main goal is you have to create strong power supply that you can supply a core communication relay with the power for 12 days straight. There cannot be any breakages. So you cannot go like seconds without a power. If you lose a power, you start with day 1. So that is the main goal of this scenario. In this scenario is for me most important combat. So I will take every single one who is interested in combat. There cannot be indifferent in combat. There can be just like normal or interested. If I find somebody who is not interested in combat, it's not indifferent in combat, but has some other important skills, I will take it. You cannot be indifferent. You will not come with me. First, of course, Ken. He's interested in combat. He's interested in crafting. Believe me, you will need crafting because you need so much of those electronics and CPUs, and just don't. If you're interested in military outposts, I have the whole let's play on it. You can go and check it out. I will pin it up there in the corner. But I am telling you, you need electronics. It's a struggle. And I will not talk about it because just the thought on those electronics, it breaks me, okay? It breaks me. So I will take Ken for combat and crafting. You can take Jack. He's a little bit like on the questionable side, but he's really good at combat and he's interested in crafting. He can still construct. He can go around. He has pretty good physical, so he can go and collect stuff. He can go around and collect wood, stone, everything you need. He occasionally improves the combat skills of others, so that's important for this scenario. Then we have a Samantha. She's okay for combat. She works 3 times speed when constructing devices or furniture, and I'm telling you, you will construct some devices in this scenario. And she has a good intellect, so you can use her for that or that, doesn't matter how do you want to use it. You can use it for both. She won't have time for both, but you know, you can use it however you wanted to. Then we have Rita. Again, yeah, she's girl for every scenario, believe me. And she will be your farming buddy, your cooking buddy, and nothing else. Like 24/7 she will farm and cook. Believe me, there is 6 people. You have to have somebody on cooking duty like 24/7. You cannot stop it. You have to have it. So she's okay. Or Emmeline. But she's not interested in farming, so it's okay. You can take her too. But I think for this one, Rita, it's much better. You can take Laura. She seeds and harvests plants twice as fast, but she don't have any interest in anything. So you can take her, but it's your choice. For me, it's Rita. And then the best buddy, Connor. He's like pain in the ass, but he really is a good survivor. I have to say that. And I did have him in my scenario, in my military outpost scenario, and he did die. Okay? And that is not because I got him killed or because I don't know what happened. No, he has eye implant, okay? And this eye implant get infected when they are landing. No matter which scenario you are taking, he will get infected immediately. And as game progresses, it can happen that he dies, or it can happen that he survives. I was like year 4 when he died, and that is my first time that Connor had died in my scenarios. But that is the longest scenario that I was playing till now. So it can happen that he die or that he survive. It depends how long is going the scenario. Longer it is, bigger possibility for him to die. So, but I will take him every single time because he is the best shooter. And there we have a Raka. Raka is not the best in the combat. He has 0. He has interest in construction and he has interest in crafting. That means he can help Samantha with construction and he can help Ken with crafting. And he is cousin from Rita. I know there is some with relationships. You can get a bonus or you can get decreased happiness from relationships. He is cousin of Rita, but I'm not 100% sure that they have a positive relationship. I'm almost certain that Rita and Raka, they have a negative relationship. So if you take them both, you will have minus relationship for them. So they will go in each other businesses and then one will be like irritated because the other one said something, and yeah, the drama, you know, the drama. And there is a Carter. He learns skills twice as fast. That means that he's interested in every single thing here. He needs to relax twice as often and requires higher variety of entertainment. So if you have any skills that the main survivors are not covering good enough, you can put Carter in it and he will cover anything. For the last survivor, I would take Sora. You have some other choices, but for me it's like combat, she's interested in it and she has construction too, so she can help with that, or she can go and collect some materials if needed. And when it comes to the game rules, it's the same as before. Big family, it does not work. You cannot find other survivors out there. You cannot hire other survivors. So you have those 6 survivors and that's it. And for this game rule, I think I did cover this one in the first guide, but I did get some questions about it, so I'll just say that is internal bliss. It's like they will not gain any happiness boost by crash landing or just landing on the planet. They will just get plus 50 happiness for the whole time. So for forever and ever. I will tell you, 50 is not much. That's not 50%. It's just 50. But it helps sometimes. It helps. And let's go on regions. We have 2 regions. Siberia's, we did cover this one on the last guide, and we have Desertsum. You have 3 main things that you have to be aware of it in Desertsum. First one, seasons. There is just wet season and dry season. Wet season, crops are growing pretty fast, so you should go and plant and harvest those crops, because if you do not do that, then come dry season and you have nothing. So you better have some food in your storages because you will need it. Second thing is temperature. There is significant difference between day and night temperature. At day it's hot, night it's cold. It's like desert, you know, Desertsum, desert. Yeah, that's normal for desert. So you have to build them shelters like as soon as possible, or buildings, better buildings, but you know, whatever you can do, you should do it right away, because they can get hypothermia. If they get hypothermia, they can die from hypothermia. So you need clothes for that, you need buildings. The third thing is materials. If you have luck, you will find plenty of wood. But normally Desertsum doesn't have so much wood. But there is always a but. Desertum has plenty of rocks, stone. So you have to consider with which material you are building in Desertum. That means if you don't have any trees around, or you don't have much trees around, you will go and build with stone. Or maybe you will go and do a concrete from stone and build with concrete. And you will take this wood and do it a sticks from it. Because you need sticks for plenty of stuff. I can tell you, you will not find every single plant in Desertum. You will find some specific plants for Desertum that will be Theballs trees, rounded cacti, tall cacti, branched cacti, palm trees, and palm bushes. They are specific for Desertum. The same goes for animals. You will not find every animal in Desertum region. Specific animals for Desertum region are Dromada, those camel zebra thingies, and there are Tecateli, and those are like those dinosaurs. Those two are specific for Desertum. And now we are at moons. I will not go too deep into those moons because I didn't learn so much about them. They are important for your gameplay. So Concordia is the first moon that we did had, and this moon it's like normal. Concordia is recommended for new players and for the players who wants to learn and understand mechanics of this game, and then later on they can progress. For Jason, it's typical that resources are more like scattered around. They're not in your vicinity. You have to walk a long way for resources. So by this moon, it's pretty important to observe stuff as soon as possible, that you can plant them, that you don't have to walk like miles and miles for something to harvest. For Nyx, it's typical that attacks are happening just at night. That means that is pretty important to do a research as soon as possible. Because at night, survivors and turrets are missing shots because it's too dark. So you should invest in research, that you can get floodlights, spotlights, every single light that you can get. That you can get lights as soon as possible, that turrets and survivors won't miss shots. Don't forget that. And then we have a chaos moon. I don't think I have to say much about this moon. I did try and play once with this one, and I'm telling you something. I have no intentions to play with this moon in near future. This moon is pure chaos, as just like name says. This moon is unpredictable. You do not know when you are getting attacked. You do not know how big the attack is. So you cannot prepare for this moon. There's just like pure chaos. And I will wrap it up with game rules. I will say, if you want to learn about this game, like really learn everything about game scenarios, regions, or moons, I will recommend you to go and take overqualified survivors. Your survivors will have all skills set at 10, and you can read. All skills will be set at 10, 6 if indifferent, or 0 if incapable. So that is my recommendation for you. If you really want to learn, really learn, take overqualified and go through everything. Go through every scenario, go through every moon, through every region. You can then learn about difference between those stuff. And when you know everything, then you can take lost cause. You can go and say random scenario. You can go and say random region. You can go and say random moon. Lost cause, every survivor skill is 0. When you learned everything and you know everything, you can go and set your game at random. And then you can test yourself. How good did you learn this game? And that's all. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I'm trying, Okay, I'm trying to go into your brain and bring some stuff into your brain. So I hope you've learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider to subscribe if you're not already. Leave a like. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. And I'll catch you in the next one.